Hello.
Hey everybody, we're back again to talk a little NFL football. We are knee deep
Into the season.
We are into the games that really matter. They really matter right now. We are already up to week 13, and there are only 17 weeks. So there is 4 more weeks left after this one, which means right now, buckle down, baby. Right now, you win and you got a chance to be in, lose, and you're probably going to be out.
That's how high risk. Even with an extra playoff spot this year.
Yeah, because I mean, have you seen how closely contested that 7th to 6th, 5, 6, and 7 are all? I mean, they're flopping
like a fish on a deck, like a sponge on a deck.
Like a sponge on a deck. But before we get into week 13, we're going to do a little pick on week 13. But first of all, we got to recap
the previous week.
So we need to recap a little week 12 for you. So we'll really quickly run through those. It was Thanksgiving week, so we had some Thanksgiving football.
We have our traditional Detroit beatdown.
Yeah, we had the Texans kicking the crap out of the Lions, 41-25.
And it was so bad they fired their head coach.
Yeah, they fired the head coach of the Lions afterwards.
Patricia is gone.
Honestly, dude, he's been bad for quite a few years. So
the Lions might be in the running for Eric Bieniemy, a hot coaching prospect.
He should be. He should have been a coach a long time ago. I mean, really.
He's coaching Kansas City's offense.
The only thing that worries me is sometimes the offensive coordinators aren't good head coaches because you need to be that forceful person in offensive. But we'll see, because Eric Bieniemy is really good. So again, he's not going to the Lions yet, but he will be somewhere next year. We had 2 turkeys on Thanksgiving,
and the Cowboys were one of them.
And the Cowboys were the other turkey. Why did I pick the Cowboys to win? Why? I mean, am I that stupid?
They're the Georgia of big games, aren't they?
I don't know. They're the Cowboys. I don't know what.
They lost to the Wombos.
The Washington Wombos football team, club team, let them have 41 points at home.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, let's just go on. Let's jump into Sunday's games. Man, the Titans at the Colts. The Titans looked
sharp.
Unbeatable, dude. They went into Indianapolis.
Got that revenge helmets on.
You are mine. And they beat the
crap out of them up front.
I mean, put up 45 points on a top 5 defense. And there's nothing the Colts could do about it.
There's nothing they could have done because they were stampeding.
They came out right out of the gate and got that first touchdown, and it was over.
They established Henry, and it's over after that.
When you get Henry established, he gets better as the game goes on,
and he just beats you physically with how big and how quick he is.
He is just a monster, man. The Titans
have stolen the AFC South lead and might keep it.
Jumped all the way up to
number 3 in the AFC race.
I mean,
we'll host a playoff game more likely.
If they can maintain their set schedule. Now, the Titans got a tough schedule. But, I mean, they play the Chiefs coming up later.
They played the Browns
coming up here soon. But man, they flexed on the Colts. That was a beautiful game.
But the Colts are not out of the race. They're still the 7th seed.
They're still the 7th seed. That's why, I mean, it flexes. The Colts went from the 4th seed to the 7th. Titans went from the 6th seed to the 3rd.
It bounces up.
One game. One game did that to us. I love this time of year with football. You were sorry for me. I'm sorry for you. Your Panthers lost 28-27 on a last second TD.
Well, there's always next year.
The Panthers didn't look bad doing it, though.
They played competitive again.
How many close games have they lost?
Hundreds.
A lot. They've lost a lot of close games. So
if we can figure out a way in the next couple of years to win those close,
get another free agent, get a good draft pick, a good young somebody come in. I think the Panthers will be somebody to contend with next year. I think they're definitely going to be
2 defensive touchdowns by the same player, Jeremy Chin. That hasn't happened in years.
And their defense is young, so that shows you how much potential that team really has.
That team might be pretty good in the next couple of years, but Minnesota is in the race if they can just kick it into overdrive here with Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook's the only reason that they even got a shot of anything. He is just that good. but I don't think he's good enough. I think if you take out Dalvin Cook, there's nothing left.
Yep, there's nothing there.
There's nothing left there. We had the Browns at the Jags. The Browns squeaked it out 27-25.
Good teams find ways to win.
Yep.
People complain about Baker Mayfield's inaccuracies, some legit, some not legit.
But that running game
Got going and it put the Jaguars out late.
Chubb has come back from an injury.
And looked just as good as
Just as good as it did before he went out. And then you got Chubb and Hunt backing him up.
Yeah, that's the running game. Cleveland has the same formula as Tennessee.
You can say what
The
you
running
want to. The Browns are 8-3.
The Browns are you are what your record is. And the Browns'
they
record is 8-3.
So they're an 8-3 quality team.
They haven't been this good since 1994.
1994 is the last
It's
time they
been
had
a first for a long time.
6 years, yeah.
About time.
It's about time.
It's about time for them to finally get off the mat.
We had the Raiders at the Falcons.
Man, that was
Flop
awful.
of the week.
That was if I had to put into words what that game was, terrible.
The Raiders beat the Chiefs once and played them tough last week, and then put up 6 points this week against Atlanta,
The Falcons
and gave
These are
up
the
43 points to Atlanta.
to Atlanta.
Lost 43-6, dude. That's a college game. They got whipped like a college team.
That was a brutal loss, not just for their playoff hopes, but for dignity's sake.
That was just.
If I had to put
Horrid.
another word, that was pathetically bad by the Raiders.
That was bad, man. And honestly, I thought the Raiders were one of the top, probably 7 or 8 teams in the NFL.
If they had just won that one game,
maybe
if they
they
won this game, maybe
they just, I don't know, flopped a little bit after playing KC last week. I don't know exactly what happened, but we'll see this week how they bounce back. Will tell us what's going to happen the rest of the season with them, because this one game this week is going to make or break Las Vegas. We had the Chargers at the Bills. Bills looked really good.
And the Chargers can't manage a game clock.
No, they can't match the game. And our little rookie quarterback, who looks really, really good. I think he might be the rookie of the year.
Justin Sherbert.
He threw some picks.
Against Buffalo's secondary, which
Of course, Buffalo's secondary, I think, is maybe one of the best secondaries in the NFL. So it's not a shameful loss because the Bills are really good. They're winning division.
They're a solid playoff team right now.
They are, yeah. We had the Giants at the Bengals.
The Giants lost their quarterback Daniel Jones to a hamstring injury, a hammy.
But they still beat the Bengals 19-17.
And they claimed the
first
top place
place
in the NFC East.
But, with Jones out, they're not going to keep it now. So who's going to win that division?
The Wumbos.
The Wumbos are going to win? I don't know. That's hard. We had the Cardinals at the Patriots. Last second.
Game-winning kick.
Dub.
By the Pats.
By the Pats. Sort of crushing the Cardinals.
That was a bad loss.
Yeah, that was about, it hurt them in their division quite a bit there. Because the top 3 teams in their division are all good. And the 49ers are not bad now.
Not bad now.
So,
despite all those injuries, it's impressed. We'll talk about that game later.
Yeah. We had the Dolphins at the Jets.
The Jets are just abysmal right now.
They're the worst team in the NFL.
They're without a doubt the worst team in the national.
Yeah,
football.
20-3. They managed 3 points against the Jets.
That puts the Dolphins in the thick of the
Dolphins
playoff
are back
hunt.
in the playoff hunt again, but they're not going to the Super Bowl.
The
Dolphins are not going to the Super
a
Bowl.
second-year coach, man.
The Dolphins are fodder for the first round. They will play somebody in the first round, and somebody will eat the Dolphins, and that will be the end of it. But it is good to see the Dolphins doing good.
Out of the basement of mediocrity and into the playoffs.
We had the Saints at the Broncos, 31-3. Of course,
No quarterback for the Broncos whatsoever. It was completely expected.
they lost all 3 quarterbacks to COVID, so they put in
A backup wide
color
receiver.
commentator from the video booth room, and
Milton.
and he threw a couple picks.
Because the Saints' pass rush has been deceptively good.
Trivia question: who is the best rated defense in the NFL as of this weekend?
The Saints.
Saints.
And they're usually mediocre.
Tell me that. Tell me, when's the last time the Saints defense been number 1? Maybe the year they won the Super Bowl?
I'm not. Maybe.
Maybe. So, honestly, right now, the Saints might be the best team in the NFC because Drew Brees is getting some rest.
And they're winning
he's got a lot of
games still.
They lost 2. They won 2 games with him not in there.
And their defense has played very well.
And their defense is really good right now. So when Drew Brees comes back refreshed, and that team may go on a roll and be
They might finally get their shot. But
They might get their shot again. Of course, they might lose the first round on a wild trick play somebody pulls out. We had the 49ers, Rams, 49ers.
amazing.
Amazing.
What you can do. Kyle Shanahan, I might have given him flack for blowing leads, but he's a good coach.
He is a good coach. I mean, he's pulled together
a bunch of an island of misfit toys.
He brought the island of misfit toys, put 49ers years on for him, and they're playing good football.
That's crazy.
Man,
they embarrassed the Rams in the first half.
The Rams lost and the Cardinals lost, which put the Seahawks
in second place.
That's so weird, man. We got the Chiefs at the Bucks.
Tom of Brady's ship is starting to sink.
It was 27-24, but it wasn't that close. It was
because Kansas City is just
Kansas
great.
City. Yeah, the Chiefs went up like 20 to something, and then just pulled back.
They're the champs. They're the best offense right now.
Right now, it's looking like maybe the Chiefs. If you were to call the Super Bowl day, it'd be the Chiefs and the Saints. Which would be good? Would that be?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Goodness.
But Bruce Arians, his offenses with Tampa Bay.
I've always made fun of Tom,
but it might be Bruce's offense.
Honestly, yeah, Tom. I don't think Tom's the best quarterback ever. I think there's a couple ahead of him, but he is a top 5 quarterback. And I just don't see a top 5 quarterback going into an offense after he's played for 16 years and throwing 5 interceptions and it being all his fault. I'm going to
blame the coach.
I'm on Tom's side.
You're on Tom's side?
I'm on Tom Brady's side. Dude, Bruce Arians, if you look at
his stats with Bruce Arians' offenses,
the last 4 or 5 quarterbacks Bruce Arians has had,
that's his coach.
He's been an offensive coordinator, and then he went to the head coach. They have had their career highs in interceptions under his offense. The only common denominator under all those
is Bruce
Arians.
And I think Boy's already thrown 10+ ints.
I think Bruce Arians' offense is a high-risk offense that is not quarterback-friendly. Even though everybody says he's a quarterback coach, no, he's not.
He's a wide receiver coach.
He's a wide receiver. Yeah, he's throwing the ball 40 yards down the field, coach.
It doesn't work that much.
No. If Tom Brady comes in there and throws 10 interceptions in his first 7 games, that's the offense. Tom Brady is too good of a quarterback to come in there and do that.
Stink it up a little bit.
Yeah.
In prime time especially. That's just inexcusable.
Yeah.
For a coach to rile up that much
And
talent.
honestly, what gets me funny is and then after it, Tom missed 3, he just read those defenses wrong and threw it wrong. Dude, you might want to look at what you're doing. Arians, it's going to fall back on him pretty quick here. Arians probably is not going to be the Bucks coach after this year.
All this talent they have. Look at all this talent they have.
Put that down, as Bruce Arians will not be the coach
for the
of Tampa Bay next year.
There's been turmoil between him and Tom.
I don't know what the bet is on that one, but
just not stable.
I just don't see it. We had the Bears at the Packers.
Mitchell Trubisky was their quarterback. That's all I gotta say.
And they lost by 16. That's all that matters. They're Trubisky and they lost by 16. And Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers.
The Bears' offense is bad.
Guess what the Packers did?
What?
They ran the ball on 3rd and 4th and short.
They've learned their lesson.
And they won. They got 41 points running the ball. They got Aaron Jones. What the crap? Run the ball. Run the ball on 3rd and 4th and short. They ran the ball this week. They got 41 points. If they didn't run it last week, they lost.
There you go.
Run the football. Short yardage, run the ball. If you can't get 1 yard, you shouldn't be playing football. And if you don't get it, so be it. We had a Monday night game. Seattle Eagles. The Seahawks won 23-17.
The Eagles' offense has been underratedly bad under Carson Wentz.
It hurts. Hurts is the backup quarterback, and probably they need to go ahead and put him in and let him learn some football.
They're not going to go to the playoffs this year.
The Eagles need to find out right now if Hurts is going to be their future. Stick him in and see what he does.
Just please. Don't let him sit on the bench for a year.
And then we had a Wednesday game this week. Because the NFL changed this game 13 times. We had the Ravens-Steelers.
The Steelers' defense is scary.
The Steelers' defense won 19-14. But that was with a 3rd-string Ravens quarterback.
Yeah.
The Steelers are 11-0.
And they win, but not by the prettiest.
But they find a way to win.
that
good teams.
find ways to win football.
They are 11-0.
You are what your record is.
You are what your record is. They're 11-0. They are the only undefeated team in the NFL.
The Ravens are going to have to do some soul searching.
Yeah, the Ravens. If they lose one more game, they're not in the playoffs. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
That's bad. And all right, let's go ahead and jump into Week 13 and do some picks. We got some pretty good games this week.
This is probably the game of the week.
Game of the week: Browns 8-3 at the Titans. That's a running team
Versus a running team.
versus a running team.
Both of them use play action a crap ton of the time.
Yes,
It's going to be looking in a mirror.
You're going to look at a mirror. One of them's blue and one of them's brown. Is the only difference. Yeah. The thing is, I think that Henry is the best player on the field.
And if the Browns somehow,
If they stop Henry,
then
they
might-
win. If they don't stop Henry,
They lose.
they lose. And I think Tennessee wins this game. I do. I think Tennessee's is the whole package better. I think they're all the way around just a little bit better of a team. Although Tennessee has one of the worst third down defenses in the league,
Which could be a problem.
which
come
could be
playoff time.
which could be a problem come playoff time. I think they match up pretty good against the Browns, and I think they pull this out. I think,
Despite the Browns having a very good season so far,
yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. The Browns are a good team. The Browns are going to be in the playoffs
if they continue winning.
if they continue, but which I think they will. But we're going to take the Titans. Got the Saints at the Falcons. The Saints.
The Saints are going to win that game. Even with Taysom Hill not being the best, their defensive line has played exponential.
I think that they'll hold them down. I don't think the Falcons are going to put up 40 points against the Saints. So I'm definitely taking the Saints. I think this will be a big week. Kamara, in the fantasy world, people, has struggled the past couple of weeks because Taysom Hill's a running quarterback. So if you got a running quarterback, your runner ain't quite as important. But this week, I think they jump back on that Kamara train. I think he's going to have a big role against the Falcons, just to keep the Falcons' offense off the field. So we'll get that. But we got the Saints. We got the Lions at the Bears. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think maybe the Bears in this case.
Me too. I would probably take the Bears because the Lions just fired their head coach, so they're going to be
Quitting
They'll either
right
be
now.
they'll either be really good, let's rally, or they're going to go next year. More than likely, said would it been the Lions? Next year. so you're probably right with the Bears. We got the Bengals at the Dolphins. Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a much better team. The Bengals don't even have Joe Burrow.
If the Bengals had Joe Burrow, it would be more of a close game.
But since the Bengals have Ryan Finley, I'm going to pick the Dolphins.
I'm going to pick the Dolphins. We got the Jags at the Vikings. Jags have won one game the whole year.
And the Jaguars are the second worst team in the NFL.
In the NFL, yeah. We got the Raiders at the Jets. Raiders will bounce back on this one because the Jets are the worst team in the NFL.
Oh boy.
But that is a good bounce. I mean, that's a good momentum builder for the Raiders, yeah. We got the Colts at the Texans. This will be a close play game. The Colts are reeling a little bit after getting spanked last week. Houston's picked up a little bit. They're starting to move a little bit.
You want to pick?
Still pick the Colts, probably.
Want to pick the Colts?
I'd probably still pick the Colts, yeah. But it's going to be close. It ain't going to be a 10, 12-point game. It's going to be a really close game. Got the Rams at the Cardinals.
You want to pick? Who are you picking? Do you want to pick the Rams or the Cards?
I'd probably pick the Rams.
You want to pick the Rams?
Just because they got a better defense. I mean, they got Sam Darnold, so I'm picking the Rams.
They got Aaron Donald.
Oh, Aaron Donald.
You picked the wrong Darnold.
I picked the wrong Darnold. Anyways, he is a monster. He's a monster defensive player. So, yeah, we'll go a little bit around. Again, it's going to be a close game. But the loser of this might be out of the playoffs.
These games are important.
Games are important.
Really
man.
important.
Really important. Got the Giants at the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I mean, the Giants are without their starting quarterback now.
It would be embarrassing for Seattle
if Seattle lost to a backup quarterback in the Giants,
in the NFC
dude,
East.
just pack it up and go home. This will put probably the Saints back in. I mean, the Seahawks back in first place, maybe in their division, or is the Rams in first place in the division?
The Rams would be first place.
The Rams
Seattle
would probably
lost.
still be first place. Yeah, I mean it's hard. These games would mean
Hard
something.
to fathom.
Got the Eagles at the Packers.
Packers,
Big.
easy,
It'll
big.
be 10+ points.
Carson Wentz against Aaron Rodgers is like Mike Tyson against
Glass Joe. Little reference there to Punch Out, if you never heard it. I got the Patriots at the Chargers. That will be a
competitive game.
That might be the most competitive. That's sort of almost a pick 'em to me.
Do you want to pick the Pats or do you want to pick the Chargers?
The Pats have got to go all the way to the Chargers. I'd probably pick the Chargers just because of travel. But it's not. It's like a 3-point game. It's not going to be a huge one. But I would probably still pick the Chargers. The Chargers, after a loss at home, bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Broncos, Chiefs.
Kansas City by a country mile.
Yes, it's going to be a 14-plus point game. We got 2 Monday night games now. We got the Washington at the Steelers. We'll take the Steelers.
The Steelers, the Steel Curtain will shut down the Wumbos.
The Wumbos are not going to win 2 in a row now. And again, one of the better games of the week, the Bills at the surging 49ers.
Injury-riddled but inspirational 49ers.
Believe it or not, the Bills at the 49ers is an even pick. The Bills are not favored in that game. They are going to San Francisco.
Which is playing in Arizona because they're government.
We don't get into how stupid that is. But, you know, I'm going to still pick the Bills. The Bills are a better team.
And pick them to knock the Niners out?
I think so. I think I will pick the Bills, especially if it's even. I don't have to give any points whatsoever. I think I'll take the Bills. And then we've got a Tuesday game because everything gets moved again. Cowboys at the Ravens. I am not picking the Cowboys again. Ravens.
Baltimore.
Yeah, let's pick them Ravens, baby. All the way. And the Ravens really need this game. They need to bounce back. They cannot go 6-6. If they go 6-6 and they're out and out. So again, these are big games this week. And that's it. That is it for this week in NFL football. We hope you liked it.
Press the like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below what you think about what do you think is going to happen this week.
Yeah, let us know what you think is going to happen. Other than that, hit the groovy baby button
somewhere on my face.
Somewhere over here. And we are out until next week of NFL. It's fun.
See you next week.